As above, so below. This is my day of power. Y'all know I'm rocking my faith in all y'all yawns. Teaching every one of you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this platform. And this is for melanated people, black African American people, whether you're in the church, whether you're doing hoodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Aj. It don't mind me. To each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for continuously supporting Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. and all that I endeavor to do when it comes down to conjure, mysticism, and so much magic. What's up there, my true Rhonda, my Aries in the house? What's up, Jeremy? Salutation to you as well. As you guys are being notified that we are live, I want to say first of all, thank you to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Anjay. Now y'all know this is my day of power, so I'm gonna be getting busy today. I also want to say hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. And I know I'm coming on a little early but I got a message for myself and a message to melanated people. And I want to talk about something that I've been doing a very long time. I've taught it to my children. I've taught it to my congregation, and I've said this oftentimes that my spiritual dad says that if I want to be proficient in magic, I be gotta be good at math. I got to also be good in science. And I want to explain and expound on why it is good, why math matters when it comes to magic. Why does being able to understand the numeral system helps you in magic, whether it is addition, God adding, you know, he said all else shall be added in the scripture when you seek first the kingdom of God, or whether God is multiplying, whether he is subtracting your enemies. I want to explain magically why math matters and why. What's up there, Mama Susan in the house? Got Demetrius coming in, Gemini, and then my Libra. What's up, Ryan? And so my cardinal error. I'm gonna make sense of it, but I want you to think about your everyday life. Math is all around you. Mathematics is all around you. And the more proficient you are in mathematics, you're gonna say in energy. Those that understand math understand why I'm using the 13th circle. Those that understand math understand when two or three gather together, there God is in the midst. It is. Thank you so much for chiming in. When it comes down to spirituality, math matters, and it also understanding the people that are teaching, that are expounding on magical systems and religious and also rituals. All right, now I'm gonna be coming from James, the first chapter, 2 through 4. And I want you to really think about this. And my message is, it's a numbers game. And what's the percentage? Now, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptation or test. It says, knowing this, that the trying of our faith working patience. So when we're going through tests, it's about challenging our faith level. We're supposed to be going from faith to faith and glory to glory. Elevation, promotion comes through being challenged, being tested. A lot of times when it comes to our black Americans, we feel like we shouldn't be going through certain things. But when you want promotion, you want advancement, you want to move forward in your life, your faith must be challenged. And it's going to be challenged through diverse temptation. Now, your temptation may not be my temptation, probably so, and vice versa. But nevertheless, whether in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, you shall be what? Tested. It's about your faith. It said, but let by faith work in patience, and let patience have her perfect work. Now, patience is also under the understanding that I am waiting for something, because now faith is the substance of hope for and the evidence of things not seen. So I'm not blindly just sitting there waiting for anything. I am understanding that there's a dinner on the way. I am understanding that I order a package and a package is on the way. I have an understanding that a storm is coming and I'm able to track it. This is not a blind faith that you're just waiting in the ether for something. You have a reason why there's an end and a beginning, okay? That ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. The purpose of being challenged, the purpose of being patient, is that you end up with whatever God got for you. Yes, it's all good, Demetrius. I'm here for all people, and especially for our people that don't understand and don't care to understand that melanated people don't give a damn. Like, we don't care. We understand we're the creators. We're not here to make you feel comfortable. We're not here to explain what we're doing. We're not here to justify anything. What lets you know this is that these are the people that are actually coming to our platform. We're not going to their platform. We're not interested in anything they're doing or saying, and so therefore they find their way on a interesting subject matter. Now, what do I mean? This is something that I constantly tell people. It's a numbers game. When a person sits down and count up the cost, understanding what they're working with, what God has agreed to do for him or her. The things that I don't understand when I look at people, when I talk about I'm 52 years old. When you hear me throwing out numbers 3, 6, 9, that's mathematically, that's why I'm on point with my manifestation. That's why I'm on point when it comes to my life. I understand the numbers game. I understand that you got more time at 21 to catch on than you got time at 51. You understand? When you don't know the season you're in and you don't know the numbers games, you can miscalculate. You can find yourself behind the ball. You can find yourself missing appointments. When you don't know the numbers game and why somebody is doing something, when a company has to hit a quota, which is the numbers game, then you might get left out in the sauce, or you might get drafted in because of the numbers game. But the numbers that are not there for you, there for you to understand. And when you understand those numbers, you can know how to maneuver in your life. We call it energy, frequency, and vibration. One of the things that I don't because people will look at my numbers and determine my outcome. Let me give you an example. Because I knew where I stood with God. When the doctor told me that they needed Mario's heart to be 30%, I wasn't afraid. I knew my stats or my numbers with the divine were high enough, were high enough that even though that was a low number, I could manifest. I want y'all to understand. See, Yahshua was able to ask for the last 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread because he knew his numbers. See, you can't do what Yahshua do. You can't do what's, because if you don't know your numbers and you don't know your stats, you might go out there and believe that God is going to open up the Red Sea for you. You can believe God can do anything, but the numbers, your stats, does not call for that. You don't have the faith. You haven't been tried. You haven't been tested. You haven't been proven. A lot of the things that I do that people try to emulate, they cannot do because they don't have the numbers. I can tell you it's going to be all right because I got the numbers. I can tell you that situation is going to turn around because I have the numbers. I have been tried and tested. I passed those courses. I have my grade. You understand? Numbers are still grades. Numbers are also what stock you come from. Huh? When Paul was talking about Timothy, he said, I know that faith that you got, that came from your mama and your grandma. See, your numbers matter. Where you fall in succession matter. How you're stacked matter. How much you give matter. When you have the numbers game, you can have a low number and still have a high expectancy when it comes to the turnout. Let me say it like this. What is your percentage? I told people this oftentimes. See, they don't know how I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is the Aries and my rising sign Pisces. A lot of people don't know how much I play a part in their manifestation. A lot of people don't know how much I maneuver in the background for them. And so when people call themselves walking off from me, when people call themselves moving on, what they don't understand is a numbers game. Because you're no longer going to have access to the proportion. That's why I said, what's the percentage? There's a movie out there, and they're talking about the 80-20. And guys, I want to share something with you. You don't never walk up from your 80. You're grown. You're air sign, you're a water sign, you're a fire sign, you're an earth sign. When the numbers, when 80% of your income come from your job, when 80% of your well-being come from your husband or wife, when 80%, those numbers right there gonna shake your world. See, you got to know where your numbers are. You got to know. I have people that move. I said, I told this young lady that, I said, I can replace your 20% way faster than you can replace my 80%. I'm going to help somebody on today. You got to know the numbers and you got to know the percentages. If I did not have this person in my life, would I have the illumination? How much of a percentage or impact is this person, this place, or the thing is in my life? These are the only numbers you need to consider. When a wife is considering that she ain't worked and she ain't did it, and her husband is the breadwinner, that's what they talking about. They talking about numbers. And when they go to court, they're trying to do numbers. How you gonna maintain without these numbers? The things that I try to explain to people, no matter if you're an Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Apollo. When I got on my platform and I was talking to Minister Mario, I said I got to hit certain numbers so I will know whether this is gonna work. If I pull off certain numbers, see, when prosperity is in your life, you got to know your numbers, what caused you to prosper. See, I know my numbers. I know what mark I got to hit in order for this to be a surplus. And I know what numbers that I don't hit. That's whether it's coming down. Even in election, it's about numbers. When you dealing with numbers, you got to stay up on your numbers. And when your numbers are favorable, because mine is 3, 6, and 9. Those are Those are the building blocks of the universe. And so I got blessed numbers. And so therefore my ratio for manifestation is going to be higher. Not because I'm a Sag, but because of my numbers. When I went through OCHOP and when I go in through what is that called? My ETOP, we get a bunch of numbers. A lot of y'all don't know the significance of numbers. I hear people call that angel number. If your life ain't better because of your numbers, you got the wrong numbers. You understand? I don't care what you may understand about numbers. When you cannot benefit off the energy and the frequency of those numbers, it does you no good. Okay? Quoting numbers is like quoting scripture. You don't believe in them, you're not manifesting them. So, when I look at I am fully loaded. So, when it comes to me, I'm always paying attention to my numbers. This is the thing what y'all don't understand. I'm going to give you the example. When I can look at my numbers and say, this person is against me, that person is against me, that person. I'm never going to say all people are against me because that is simply not true. But if I find myself with a multitude of people against me, I understand my numbers. My numbers say to me, if God be for me, who can be against me? And what I do at that point, I start the process of elimination. The next thing I do when I got that many enemies, I find the weakest link. I'm doing numbers. Who is the weakest link? Because all I got to do is break the chain. A part of defeating a host is getting that host. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Once I break that weakest link, once I get that thread, I'm going to unravel whatever that is against me. I don't care how many people are against me. There's always a weak link. I don't care what you in. Hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi. If you dealing with a coven, there's always somebody that didn't show up at the class. There was always somebody that didn't do they due diligence. There's always somebody that didn't show up for prayer meeting. So there's always going to be a weak link. And some of y'all don't understand. Your numbers come up like Judas. You going to be the weak link. If somebody loses a race, I wouldn't be the one that lost the race. I don't want to be that person. And therefore, I strive for my numbers. So I'm letting you know that even in warfare, we utilize mathematics. And once I target it, because I'm a Sag, once I target you as the weak link, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to tell you how I operate. I'm 52 years old. I'm going to hit the strongest and the weakest at the same time. I'm going to hit them both with the same force. I got it like that. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to hit the strongest person and I'm going to hit the weakest at the same time. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm smart. The strongest cannot carry the weak because I done gave the strongest something to do. And the weak gonna give me my access into that chain, into the house. Because that weak ain't gonna be able to withstand what I sent that direction. This is why I tell people, you have an obligation to self, to study, to show yourself approved. Because you don't want to be targeted by somebody like me. When just like in nature, that one that's trailing behind, that one that's not keeping up with the pack, that one is always out of order, that one that has dissension, you that weak link. And I'm going to hit that strongest vessel because they got to protect themselves because I ain't nothing to play with. And I'm going to hit that weakest vessel in that circle. And that weakest vessel going to give me my doorway into that house. Do you understand? Mathematics, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to understanding where I stand. Number one, I know very few people are going to be able to match my energy. So in that chain, it's going to be more than one to lead. Because when I break that one, I'm going to get those three. Those three people that are next to that weakest link, I'm going to demolish them. You know why I'm going to demolish them? Because they're only a grade above that weak link. That's why you have a strong team, everybody can stand. That's like a team of singers. When all of them can sing, when all of them can hit that note. So it don't matter who leads in that. That means that's a strong team. But when when the skill set of your team varies and there's a significant difference in the numbers and the percentages, I got you. I got you. When only one person is a seer, when only one person is the healer, I'm going to demolish you. Because I know your numbers. I know you can only do so much. Matter of fact, I'm so good at what I do. I know your measure and I know your range. I know your measure. I know how far you can go. And I also know what areas you can cover. That math will tell on your ass. Some of y'all got enough stamina to last a war for 5 minutes. Some of y'all got stamina for a week. When somebody like me coming against you, it's going to take something because I'm going to wear you down. I'm going to wear your battery down. I'm going to wear your battery down because I know the math of your extent of your measure, and I know what your range is. Your range is how far you can go, how much ground you can cover at the same level. That's economically, that's spiritually, that's mentally, that's emotionally. It is important to know why numbers matter. And it's a numbers game. And the percentage of people, that's why they tell you about the 1%, or they'll tell you about when women going after the 1% of black men that on a certain level. You don't know how much a fight you don't know how much a fight you got when you going after the cream of the crop. I'm going to say this again. You don't know because you don't understand the numbers games. And you don't understand how much adversity you're going to have, how much test you're going to have because you're going after that percentage of rarity, of uniqueness, of divine. That's what's wrong with black people. You don't have the proper numbers game. Somebody gave you the wrong numbers. Somebody got you going in the wrong direction. Somebody got you going. Let me explain something to you. I know my absence is going to cause devastation. I told one young lady, I said, you think I'm doing something to you. And I'm not. I just stopped maneuvering for you. And I removed myself from. I said, now you're stuck with your energy. See, sometimes the greatest weapon to people that are ungrateful is to stop what you've been doing. And they're going to feel the impact because you're no longer doing what you normally do in their life. Whether that's giving them insight, whether that's praying for them, whether that's financially being there for them, whatever you. Because Sagittarius take up a lot of space in people's life. Don't think you're going to be, just like giving up God. for a man or a woman, that's you giving up 80% for 20%. This is why you hear me talk about the wind beneath, because some of y'all ain't got no wisdom. You don't know the numbers game. You're not sitting down and counting of the cost. You're not understanding the percentage that are necessary. Sean, fuck you. Does that answer your question? Don't come in my platform and ask me about who God is. And unless y'all talking about recreation and giving us back our money, we're not interested. So, what I'm explaining to you, when you count up your number, this is why I feel that a lot of people on fixed income, and fixed income doesn't mean something bad, because you can have a fixed income of $10,000 a month. It's still a fixed income. Fixed income. The problem is when you don't see yourself operating outside of that fixed income. When you don't see that God can still be a provider beyond your fixed income. When God can be a healer beyond medical science. When God can be a deliverer beyond who's against you. See, my problem with most people that don't have faith in the vision, they only see what is present, what is physically there. I see that I give and I support based on where I'm going, not where I am. I'm going to say that again. I don't give, I don't support based on where I am. I base my giving and support where I'm going. See, when I know where I'm going, I know the proper numbers and procedures that are necessary and percentages that are necessary for me to get there. When you only sow for a seed for where you are, then you're not going any further past that mark. When I want to grow, when I want my territory to be enlarged, I change my numbers. I change my percentages, because it's about revising. It's about revising. When you know you want something better, when you know you want to go different height and different measures in this thing called spirituality, you got to adjust your percentages and you got to adjust your numbers. Sir and ma'am, you cannot give the same way and try to get millionaire status. I know that I had to make certain adjustments because I was going to millionaire status. I'm trying to show you not only economically why numbers matter, I'm showing you where spiritually why numbers matter, and this is why a lot of people get beat. Some of y'all feel like, oh, we got a coven, or we got a elate. Let me tell you how I beat a lot of groups. First of all y'all ain't skilled. You can produce a lot of energy with a group, but normally it's not skilled energy. I'm a skilled spiritualist, and I carry a lot of power. And the main thing when it comes down to a group, that group got to be synchronized. That means they got to be in one mind, on one accord. If I do find a group that is that synchronized, I'm going to do what God did. I'm going to send a spirit of confusion. Because in order to break rank, there must be confusion. In the case of the Tower of Babel, God sent the spirit to confuse their language. See, there's a way to break rank when it comes down even to a skill and a synchronized covenant. No less than when y'all ain't unified. Half of y'all make it easier for people to look powerful when the truth of the matter is, you ain't together no way. You ain't in one mind. You ain't in one accord. You don't mind the same thing. You don't think on the same thing. So it is easy to bring disruption. Most people talking about why black people don't get together, because it's very easy, because we're naturally envious and jealous of each other. We are naturally trying to be the top dog. So there's a lot of vices that black people got to get through before we unify. There's things that happen to us that we end up unifying, but it's never consistent. This is why these other nations are not worried about black people. Until black people get rid of a lot of this shadow work and that we got to do, these hating and these envy, this strife that we have amongst each other is enough for anybody to disrupt what we got going on. Let's just tell the truth. Long as we got light skin against dark skin, fat against skinny, gay against straight, all these things allow people to bring division. The reason why Trump is so effective in division, if you wasn't divided, he could not bring division. I'm going to say it again. If you wasn't already divided, you already didn't have issues. That's why the Bible says, the princes in this world have nothing in me. They're going to break rank based off of how we feel about one another, how we feel about ourselves. When we actually start loving ourselves and then loving what look like us, which would be our brothers and sisters, then we can stay unified. We can, as Beyonce said, formation. This is why situation with daughters against mothers and sons against the father. This is why you already got issues. It don't take much to rattle the cage. Stop believing black people don't have the issues they have, because they do. I know the numbers. I know what is going to, when I'm doing something. This is why I was fighting for Minister Mario so hard, because without him, what's going to change my numbers? Which was going to change my percentage? I already knew I didn't have that many people that were going to support me. I had a core. I knew my numbers. That's why when I come on social media, I know my numbers. See, 4,000 subscribers, but I know my real numbers. When I'm on social media, on my TikTok, I got almost 16,000 followers. I know my real numbers. See, you can't win a war not knowing your real numbers. I never let the delusion of 16,000 followers or 4,000 subscribers fool me into knowing who really support me, who really got my back, who really gonna invest, who gonna, like, those numbers matter, because those numbers move you forward. Some of y'all think people on your team and they just riding to see what they ain't gonna be. That ain't somebody on your team. See, you don't test people. You don't test people's mettle. So therefore, you don't know what they have the capability of doing, and you also don't know what they're not willing to do. See, I know what people around me are willing to do, but I also know what they're not willing to do. So I always know what I got to put in. I'm going to say this again. When you the head of something, you should already know how much you need to invest for that thing to go forward. When you understand your numbers, that Nancy Pelosi told the squad, she said, I hope you understand you only got 3 votes. I got 200 and something votes. Nancy Pelosi know her number. See, a great leader, a great leader, even though she was the minority leader at one point, she still know her numbers. I want y'all to understand, you got to know who's in step with you, who's not going to break rank with you. Whether that is 3, 5, 15, or 40, or 300. Like Gideon. He knew that them 300 was not going to break rank. Sir and ma'am, you got a false sense of your numbers. And that's why you can't count it all joy. And that's why you can't also sit down and count the cost. See, I know to keep what I need to do to keep from being mocked. That the Bible says when you're trying to build a tower, that you don't be mocked. That you used to. These numbers keep you from being laughed at and mocked and scorned. These numbers keep you from being defeated. These numbers keep you in a situation where you always have what you need. When you understand your numbers and you understand how your numbers function and you understand the measure that you have, this is why a lot of stuff y'all think bother me, it don't bother me. I know my numbers. It's certain people that I don't even count as a consistent person, but I count you like a lotto scratch off. What I mean by this, there are certain people give you every now and then. You cannot count that in your income. You count that as a miscellaneous surplus. That means I'm not looking for that every day. I'm not looking for that every week. I'm not looking for that every month. Sometimes in life, you get a miscellaneous blessing and count and utilize it and count it like that. But there are certain people that are the same way in your life. Every now and then, they might bless you with something. Every now and then, they may give you something. Doesn't matter how much it is. But I would never count that in. I would never count that with my biddies. I would never count you among my hatched eggs. You will always be a miscellaneous blessing to me. Because I never know when you're going to show up and show out. But I thank God for you when you do. Because I'm smart. I'm trying to teach melanated people how to do the math. How to do numbers. Why they should be respected. Why they should be understood. Why they should be applied. Why you don't have enough range to be going up against me. You don't have enough numbers to go up against me. And this was when I was going through with my pregnancy on. You still didn't have the numbers. You still didn't have the percentages. You still was gonna lose. Some people thought I was down to the point that they thought they had an advantage, but they didn't know my numbers. If I get down in energy, I have certain things around me to be able to pull my weight. That's why when I'm strong in the Lord and the power of His might, that's why I keep quartz crystals, things that can store energy. So if I ever get to the point where I need to pull on that energy to jumpstart my battery, I got something there. I don't have to count on a man or woman to be there for me. Because people flake out on you. Sometimes people that don't flake out, they just ain't got it. They energy somewhere else. So I have different things around me to make sure that I'm able to maintain the energy and frequency. I'm like that when it comes to my finances. I'm like that when it comes to my sexual prowessness. I'm like that when it comes to pretty much everything that I live in my life. I'm just trying to teach you that why numbers matter and why you should consider. I would lose 14 friends like you to have one friend like me. I'm gonna say it again. I would lose 14 of you to have one friend like me. These people in your life change your percentage drastically. These people magnify your capabilities to function in your life. Minister Mario was a blessing to me, but I was more of a blessing to him. I was able, with him, with me in his life, he could stretch his finances. He could take risks that he wouldn't take. He could go places and do things on a longer period of time because I was there. See, you got to know what percentage somebody brings to your life. Some of y'all trading at 80% for somebody for a good time for the weekend. And I ain't talking about the whole weekend. I'm not talking about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We talking about from Friday night to Saturday morning. Your weekend is over. You done traded out that person, that place, or that thing. Some of these people think I'm trying to get them at my church. I don't need you at my church for my church to function. You need to be at my church to function. You the one pulling off the energy in my ministry. My ministry ain't pulling off the energy in your life. You're not a game changer when you show up at the apostolic. Game changers for you when you show up for apostolic. See, some of y'all make a move because you don't mess around and gave yourself a false number. You're still counting the numbers. Just like they were telling y'all about a lot of the things that Trump was taking credit for was Obama's economy. A lot of things that Trump is still taking credit for is Biden and Harris' economy. You're going to feel Trump economy after a while. You see what I'm saying? You understand numbers. I know that even though I'm 52 years old, there's a certain percentage of my family that still supports me. My family, that's my biological family. I still benefit from a certain percentage of just being in this bloodline. Some of y'all trying to do away with your bloodline or your ancestry. And you want to understand there's a certain percentage of your power of what you're capable of doing comes from your ancestry. You got to know the percentage of what makes you powerful. I know the percentage of where my power is coming from, what that makes me a chief apostle Samuel Elijah. And losing any of those percentages decrease my influence, decrease my ability. So therefore, I guard that. Why you think on a cartoon when something happens to Grayskull, He-Man get his ass there? When the sorceress call He-Man, he know where his power come from. It's a ignorance out here that you are not protecting the beehive. You are not protecting where your strength come from, your help come from. These people got you believing that you don't need the church, but some of y'all strength come from the church. Your faith come from the church. You don't let nobody, and I do mean nobody, make you believe that the church ain't a lot of people's support. Have some wisdom. Have some wisdom. Still practice Ifa. Still practice voodoo. Still practice any of the ATRs. I have spiritualists tell me and make statements, pray for me. Because they understand there's still power in the church. And especially the black church. Because when we come together, when we are unified about anything, stuff start happening. It is what it is. On a good day or bad day, black people can make some stuff happen. when we are unified. I am trying to get you to understand the significance. Thank you so much, Chris. The significance of a numbers game. When I'm looking at people, it's all about the numbers and the percentages. You're not going to get the victory when your numbers are not right and your percentages are off. It don't matter who and what is against me. When them numbers are right and that percentage is right, I'm at peace. I know I'm gonna win. Everything I'm going after now, I already know I'm gonna accomplish. The ones that are doing, the ones that are not doing, none of that stuff bothers me. The numbers are there. The percentages are there. I've done things to magnify and give myself advantages. That's why I use my quartz crystal. I use my quartz crystal with my cauldrons. When you understand math, you know how to multiply the energy, frequency, and vibration. It is imperative that you understand how to magnify energy. Let me explain something to y'all. When Trump threatened Canada, I'm gonna show y'all a map. That they were playing math on his ass. First of all, you don't fool with nobody. They got a power grid that can shut your lights out. You understand? You don't want a lights out in Georgia. You can tell when somebody don't understand math and percentages. You don't mess with people that you can go and borrow from. You don't mess with friends that will lend their armor to you. See, some of y'all are attacking the wrong people because y'all don't understand numbers and you don't understand percentages. And the reason why he feels like he can do what he's doing because he think that Elon Musk is in his back pocket. Let me tell y'all this. One thing about a white man to another white man. You are never, they're all traitors. There's no honor among thieves. Just like Elon Musk can't trust Trump, it's vice versa. There is no honor among thieves. They're gonna eventually attack each other because they have the same mentality. It is important for us to understand as a people. I don't know who this Michael Senior, but we have a subject matter that we're talking about, and it's for melanated people. And if you're not inclined to expound on that subject matter, don't talk about other stuff on our platform. This is for black people. Okay? Thank you. Now, this is why this is important. In every aspect of life, you're going to see numbers. Every aspect of life, you're going to see percentages. And until you understand that, melanated people, until you start switching out 80% for 20%, when you start giving up your heavy hitters for the people that can only maybe give you one base, like we playing baseball, they can only hit the ball where they're gonna get. But your home run hitters, your home that can get you healed, your home run hitters that can get you a financial breakthrough, your home run hitters that can get you elevated in certain spaces and places, you don't trade them out. You work out whatever you got to work out in your relationship. That's why I don't understand something. You don't let me go over a disagreement. I'm a heavy hitter. I can hit a home run almost every single time. You don't let me. I can bring you to healing almost every single time. I can bring you to deliverance almost every single time. I can take you to extraterrestrial levels. You don't. You gotta have some wisdom. You protect those people. You invest in those people. Those are your heavy hitters. Everybody on the field get back when they get on post. When they in the batter's box, they be looking at them. They ain't even in the pitcher mound. They already realize if when they get up there, the bat 9 times out of 10, they could hit a home run. They know they have. Why black people don't know they have hitters? Why you don't know the people that change the game? Why you don't know the people that got their percentage to change your outcome? When I step on the scene with situation, I don't care who they are, I'm gonna make an impact. But I'm gonna strategize to be effective in your life. That's why Apostle Ely is on scene. That's why my numbers don't matter. You know why my numbers don't matter how low they are? Because I'm still making the money. Can I say it again? I still generate more revenue when it comes down to ATRs that keep apostolic above water. That's why it matters. Because some people could not survive with my numbers, but I can. Some people could not survive and win a war with 300, but I can. Some people could not turn this world upside down with 12 disciples, but I can. Some people couldn't feed 5,000 and including the women and children with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but I can. I have the numbers and I have the percentages. And that's why you can't compete with me. Because the numbers you need to make it, I don't need it. I'm going to still be victorious. I want to encourage you today on my day of power to support Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated. Support our platform. Get to become a membership, whether it's Haitian Voodoo, whether it is Orisha Faith, or whether it is Apollo Miambe. I have the numbers. I have the percentages. Get and utilize, and also at those that have your membership, utilize, benefit, drive the numbers up for yourself. Change the law of probability for your outcome. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. I can do more with your numbers than you can even imagine. You got to have the mentality. You have to have the mentality. I got the numbers. I got the percentages. You got to want something out of life. And to all of you that decided to leave, understand this. Apostle Ely is not doing anything to you. My percentages are not there. My covering is not there. My energy is not there. That's what's happened. And you have a vacuum that must be filled. And it's going to take something to fill that vacuum. You might be able to find another apostle, but he or she may not be able to fill that vacuum. You may be able to find another Tata or Mumbo or Hugon or whatever, but they still cannot take up the space that I was able to take up in your life. That's what appears to be working against you. It's not me working against you. It's my absence. It's my absence. It's the absence of my spirits, my ego, everything that you had working for you from me. Now that I'm not no longer your pastor, now that I'm no longer your covering, you feel the void. And that void feels like you're being attacked. Well, the spirits know that I'm no longer there. So what was afraid to attack you before is not afraid to attack you now. That's what some of these people will find out. I was keeping a lot of things from coming into your life. But now that I don't have to guard you, I don't protect you, those spirits are not afraid of you. They were afraid of me. I'm going to say it again. They were afraid of me. They weren't afraid of you. And you finna find out. God bless you. I'll see y'all later.